Animal Crossing New Horizons is a return to a nostalgic classic in the Nintendo lineup. Hey guys, I'm Obi.
And I'm Zobi.
And in today's video, we will be looking at and doing an in-depth review of Animal Crossing New Horizons. If you're new to the channel, as you watch, consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell to be the first to see our weekly content that comes out every Friday.
Let's get into it. After the game's announcements and a few teaser trailer drops along the way, many fans of the series waited in anticipation of what this new colorful title for the Nintendo Switch had to offer. We, being fans of the Nintendo GameCube Classic, also waited excited to see how the game compares to our fond memories of years past. When it comes to Animal Crossing, it's really hard to explain the appeal of the title. Maybe it's the colorful world, the sense of freedom, or maybe it's about being creative. But whatever your motivation is to play the title, we're sure you're going to enjoy it. When it came to early Animal Crossing titles, there really wasn't much to do. You had a house and were free to decorate and customize it, make expansions after paying off hefty loans, grow fruit trees, and sell the harvest for profit. You could buy clothing and customize your in-game avatar, donate various items to the museum, go fishing, and try to catch every type of insect that the game had to offer. You could also strive to make your town more aesthetically pleasing by pulling weeds and planting flowers. And of course, befriend the various animals that decided to make their home in your town. When you break it down, it doesn't seem like Animal Crossing has a lot to offer. While the early titles did not have as much to do, the game was still a blast to play. Simplistic in nature, but relaxing. Though the gameplay has many new things to offer, it's the core of the original titles that brings us to this new horizon.
Let's look at gameplay. Again, like its predecessors, Animal Crossing New Horizons is simplistic in nature, and while the original titles were intoxicating in the best of ways, the new mechanics are slightly addictive and will have you itching to come back for more. You were brought to this island after winning a deserted island package. Once on the island, you were tasked with picking out a spot for your new home, which turns out to be just a small tent. The same goes for the other two locals that moved to the island with you. You have the option to choose where their tents go as well. After setting up your new home and getting settled in, you make your way to a local celebration, and after a little partying, Tom Nook, a major returning character in the series, hits you with a huge game changer. Just like in the past, Tom Nook is all about the money and has charged you with the cost of moving expenses and the payment of your small tent you now own. He does give you the chance to pay this back in what he calls Nook Miles, and we will go further into that here in a bit. After paying him off, you can upgrade your tent into a proper home, but again, this will cost you a hefty sum of the in-game currency of 98,000 bells. As far as the beginning of the game goes, not much has changed. You owe Tom Nook and you pay him off as the game progresses, and keep expanding your home, but you were also tasked with many more chores on this deserted island. Even though you will be doing all the work, you're kind of in charge of what happens. You will be collecting resources to build new homes and furnish them for residents that will be moving to your island, but you were also in charge of setting up the museum as well as Nook's Cranny, both returning staples of the series. But while you will be playing errand boy for Tom Nook, ultimately the island is yours to do with what you please. Planting fruit trees or flowers, building bridges, and terraforming will become part of your daily routine. That being said, in-game time runs in real time, mirroring the time programmed into your Nintendo Switch. While it's not new to the series, it's good to see it make a return. If the sun is coming up in real life, it's also doing the same in-game.
Let's talk about the new Nook Miles feature. Nook Miles is a new feature in the game that rewards you for pretty much doing anything. Catching fish, chopping wood, talking to your neighbors, and selling things are just a few examples. As you earn these miles, you can turn in points to get things like new DIY recipes, hairstyles, inventory space upgrades, and a new tool ring that makes accessing your tools much faster. DIY or do-it-yourself is the new crafting mechanic that has made its way into Animal Crossing New Horizon. Early on, there's not much to craft aside from a few tools, but as you play the game, you're constantly rewarded with new things to craft such as furniture and tool upgrades. Just like with Nook Miles, gathering new recipes is rather easy. Just play the game. You can get these from talking to people, purchasing them, finding them in bottles washed up on the beach, in the mail, or by Tom Nook himself for completing different things around the island. While crafting is simplistic in nature, we found ourselves overjoyed every time we had something new to make and add to our island. Crafting resources spawn every day, and you can gather these by shaking or chopping trees, hitting rocks with shovels, and pulling up weeds. Some recipes call for specific fruit or even trash you may find while fishing. If resources run out on your island, you can spend a hefty 2,000 miles to purchase a ticket to fly to a randomly generated island that will have new resources to offer. For example, our island only spawns cherries, but after traveling to another island and bringing resources back, we now have apples, pears, coconuts, and bamboo. You can also find new anamorphic friends here as well, and invite them to move to your island. These randomly generated islands are different every time you visit them, and some will be rare spawns. Some will have different things like an overabundance of emperor butterflies that sell for 5,000 bells each. Others include rare fish, or even an island covered in nothing but money rocks. Occasionally you will find a random NPC wandering your home map, and they will invite you to visit their own special island. You will need to craft tools to help you gather resources. These tools include an axe, shovel, net, wooden ladder, and a vaulting pole for getting across the rivers, until you have the option to build bridges. Most of these tools do have durability and they will break after a short time. Unfortunately, there is no meter for this durability, so when traveling to other islands, be sure to have a backup or craft new ones to bring with you. As you progress in the game, you will be able to craft bigger and better tools.
You also have the ability to create your own clothing, paintings, posters, and flags. While at first we really didn't look into this too much, once we did, we really enjoyed it. It's all based on pixel art and looks very blocky when making it, but once you see your design on your character, it really adds a personal touch. Of course, we decked out our character in our own personal obi-sobi designs, and maybe got a little overzealous when decorating our home. One of the best parts of Animal Crossing New Horizons is being able to place items out on the map instead of just in your home. This allows you to really customize the look and feel of your island and add a new layer of depth to the title. Visual presentation in Animal Crossing New Horizons is simple as well, but it's far from dull. In fact, we find it quite pleasing. The bright colors are as much of a joy as they were when we were young. The fur on the animals is something that really caught our eye when we first picked this game up, and the insects look way too realistic for their own good. Speaking of insects, we want to mention the museum. Blathers, the museum curator, has made a return as well, and he still hates bugs. He's one of our favorite characters from the older titles, and we are happy to see him return, along with many others that we won't be mentioning. But back to the museum. Once you've donated enough items to Blathers, his small tent will be upgraded into a full-blown museum, and it's a big one, big enough that you can get lost in if you're not paying attention. To be honest, we don't visit very much, mostly because we are distracted with doing our daily chores around the island, but when we do visit, we really like to take our time to look around. This is the most detailed museum to date, and while it's hard to describe in words, we really love spending our time here perusing the different things we've collected. Sound is another major factor in this game that just works well. Mixing the soothing background music with the crashing of the tide makes for a super relaxing environment. Add that to various waterfalls, sounds of leaves blowing in the wind, insects calling to be captured, and you will find yourself in a very immersive experience. Animal Crossing New Horizons may still be the same simplistic game it has always been, but it's the charm of these titles that keeps us coming back. Every NPC has its own personality and quirks, and every time we find ourselves getting slightly bored, the game has something new to throw at us. Every day we are faced with something new, whether it be a returning NPC from games past or a new character leaving its charm upon us. You are rewarded for everything you do, and we can honestly say that we are loving every minute of this colorful title. You're given the freedom to create your own island paradise and shape it however you please. When it comes down to it, the choice is yours. You could spend your time here grinding away for resources or just stroll around fishing and digging up fossils. Ultimately, Animal Crossing is a rarity among video games. Looking at it, it shouldn't be a game, but somehow it just works. Even something as simple as donating to the museum and watching it slowly fill brings us great joy. If you look at the starting screen, it will say version 1.1, so we know that updates are coming in the future. We are excited to see what Nintendo will be bringing to this title, and we hope for full-blown DLC that may offer new maps, animals, and things to craft. But until that happens, we are content with shaking trees, pulling weeds, and building up our town.
Alright guys, this is all we have for this Animal Crossing's New Horizon review. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that like button and share this video on your social media, as it helps us grow and reach a broader audience, and we really do appreciate it. Now we want to know, are you a fan of the series? If not, are you thinking about picking it up? Also, we want to see your Animal Crossing islands. You can send us your creative pictures via Twitter. You can follow us on Twitter and Facebook by clicking the link in the description below.
Until next time, this is Obi.
This is Sobi.
Signing out.
See you guys next time.